All right. Hi, our Oaks at Jane Lane investors. This is our January 2026 update. This update is a multiple month update. Andrew was feeling a little bit under the weather last month, and so we pushed it and waited until our schedules, the stars aligned, and our schedules allowed us to do this update for you. So thank you for being patient with us and happy to bring you this information. I will kick it to you, Andrew.
Awesome. Thank you, Ellie. I'm feeling better now. I had the flu. I know it's going around, so if anybody at home watching this has the flu or had the flu, I feel you. Um, and so coming out of the new year, we had several skips, seven to be exact, that dropped our occupancy quite a bit. These were not planned. We didn't see them coming. But as you know, we're pretty proactive. And so the manager that we had in place, we had them help. We got them help previously, and they were doing well with the help. But once we removed the help, they started falling behind again, and so we did have to replace our previous manager. But we brought back our original property manager, Elizabeth, who was with us for several months. We know her well. She's really strong in what she does. And where she shines is keeping our occupancy up and creating those relationships with our existing tenants. And so we're happy to have her back. We're implementing the same program we used when we had the previous manager and some help in place, and we were able to get our occupancy back up. And so, same product, same program. We're doing that thing. We have a manager in place that knows the property, knows tenants well, and we feel pretty good about getting our occupancy back up to where it needs to be and ready to go before leasing season in the next few months. Physical occupancy currently stand at 85%, like we said, following those skips. Economic occupancy holding strong at around 76 on average. We're about 76 and a half, and so we'd like to see that come up, and we expect it to over the next 60 to 90 days. And collections are still pretty strong, close to 94%. So with that, I turn it over to you, Nick.
Thanks, Andrew. So going over the financial snapshot, actual budget, just ending the year, December 2025, pretty close to our within $3,000 or our planned NOI, which is pretty incredible. So looking pretty strong there, a little bit behind. We had an increase compared to November of 4%. And the big kind of pop there was a reimbursement of water expenses that was added back to our financials. R&M and taxes are really driving the negative variance overall. We're going through the process for a tax protest. We hope to kind of get that back. And we're also doing things kind of on the back end to reduce our R&M. We created some automation around that using AI to kind of help with that. So we're pushing that. With distributions, we actually had one investor reach out about distributions. They were a little bit delayed, and we're still working through that with Agora. We're just as frustrated as you. This is kind of an ongoing thing with Plaid. So we sent out that distribution. We kind of had a manual process, wiring funds, and that distribution. You guys should all have received it. I received it on Saturday. I don't know, Ellie and Andrew, you guys received your distribution?
Yeah, over the weekend, I got the
Great.
email.
So we kind of circumvent the Plaid situation. We wired the funds directly into the kind of the intermediary bank account, and that was sent. So everyone should have received their distribution. If you haven't, please reach out. We're working with Agora to stabilize that process because it's been a kind of a frustrating process for all of us. Turn it over to Ellie.
All right. Like Andrew said earlier, we've had a change in our on-site property manager. We're really happy and confident about this change. Our previous manager was struggling to keep up, and we were having to offer help when it wasn't our prime leasing season. And so we were proactive about it and wanting just to make sure that while we get into our prime leasing season later in the year, that we have that transition happen. And so we made the decision as a team to bring Elizabeth back, and she was our previous on-site manager. She went to another property and realized the grass was not greener and missed us ever so. And so she came back. We were in communication with her throughout the time. We knew that she was not happy at our new property, so we were happy to accept her back. And the residents have just accepted her, are really excited to have her, especially with the mailboxes situation and those coming in. She was really proactive at the very end to get that done. And so we're just really happy to have her back.
Thanks, Ellie. So yes, that was the big news. We hired back our property manager, Elizabeth, and the tenants are really happy about that. The other thing, we finally got the mailboxes up and running, and this is our tenants kind of celebrating the fact that they finally can get mail. The previous manager, we had those 7 skips, that she kind of pointed back to the fact that, there were some tenants that were frustrated with not having mail. Since we bought the property, the mailboxes have not been in place. So this is a huge win. Happy tenants. And we're really appreciative with the tenants that have stuck with us through this painful process, so that the mail is finally kind of delivered through to our tenants here. We'll continue to monetize the Wi-Fi, and then we're going to start this parking lot striping project. We'll release the remainder of the escrow funds. And we talked about our strategy. We kind of lowered rents on each unit type down to kind of like the lowest in the market to get foot traffic. And then as we sign those leases, we're scaling up the rents by $50. And that's worked previously when occupancy drops. So we're going to continue to do that. And just, Andrew didn't mention this, but when we had this issue, we had these 7 skips. Andrew and I got in our car, drove the comps, talked to the property managers, talked to the on-site people to kind of understand what was happening. We recalibrated our comps a little bit, gave us a lot of insight on how to set rents. So that's what we do. Don't mean to brag, but that's what we do. Roll our sleeves up. We get out there, and we hit the street and make sure that we're operating this property well. And we feel that we set the right rents based on the data that we gathered through that that tour that we did of the market. So that's our update for January, kind of bleeding into February because Andrew was sick. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And again, we are very grateful for your faith in us in this investment, and we'll continue to push and send out strong distributions to you guys. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.